So we will continue our discussion with Bayesian theorem. So this is the formula for Bayesian theorem. We discussed this briefly in the previous class. So this is called as your what probability? Posterior probability. This is your likelihood multiplied by prior probability. So this is the formula to be noted in order to find out the posterior probability of the instances. So we started with examples of Bayes theorem and we dealt with this to revise. So this is the problem given. A doctor knows that cold causes fever 50% of the time. Prior probability of patient having cold and patient having fever is given as 1 by 50,000 and 1 by 20. So what we need to find? We need to find if a patient has fever, what is the probability he'll be having cold? He or she will be having cold. So what we have to find? We have to find the posterior probability of cold with respect to fever. So this can be calculated by knowing the prior probability of having cold and prior probability of having fever multiplied by the posterior probability. So it is 50% of the time. So it is nothing but 50 by 100, which is half or 0.5. So if you multiply 0.5 with the prior probability of cold divided by prior probability of fever, the probability is got as 0.0002, which is approximately equal to 0, which means that the probability of getting fever when a patient has cold is 0. And we started our discussion with the first question. So I repeat, a factory has two machines, machine 1 and machine 2, where machine 1 will produce 60% of item. That is the total production. 60% of the total production is produced by machine 1 and remaining 40% is produced by machine 2. Here we also should note that 2% of item which is produced is faulty, which are produced by machine 1. Similarly, 4% of items which were manufactured by machine 2 were defective. So what we need to find? We need to find if an item is drawn at random, what is the probability of that particular item to be defective. So here we need to calculate maximum likelihood. By getting the maximum likelihood, we can check what is the probability of item being defective. So first, we will calculate the probability of item which is produced by machine 1, that is 60%. So 60 divided by 100. Similarly, probability of defective item produced is 2%. So it is 2 by 100. Probability of item produced by machine 2 is 40%. So probability of M2 would be 40 divided by 100. Probability of defective items is 4%, which accounts to probability of defective items produced by machine 2, which is 4 by 100. So what we need to find here? We need to find if an item is drawn randomly, what is the probability of that item being defective. So you need to find probability of the defected or defective item. So this can be got by probability of correctly produced. That is, what is the items produced by machine 1 multiplied by the items which are defective, plus probability of items which is produced by machine 2 multiplied by the probability of defective items produced by machine 2. So this formula is called as maximum likelihood. So if you multiply this, it gives you the maximum likelihood of the defective piece which are produced with respect to machine 1. Similarly, the maximum likelihood of defective item which is produced with respect to machine 2. Because here the total probability 100 is got by 40% and 60% it is divided. So you have to add the probability of both machine 1 as well as machine 2. So if you substitute the formula, it turns out to be 0.0280. So this is the probability of the item when it is drawn randomly. The possibility of defective item is 0.0280. So this is about the first problem. Similarly, you try to find out the maximum likelihood for second question. So there are two identical urns which contains 6 black and 4 red balls in the first one. Similarly, 2 black and 2 red balls. So what is the probability of drawing a particular ball which is black? So how will you calculate this? Go ahead and try this. So there are two urns where in the first one you have 6 black balls and 4 red balls. Similarly, in second one you have 2 black and 2 red balls. So what are we trying to find? We are finding what is the probability of the ball which is drawn as black. So how can you solve this? First, find out what is the probability of black ball which can be drawn from the first turn. Similarly, what is the probability of red ball? Next, go ahead with what is the probability of black ball which can be drawn from the urn 2. Similarly, what is the probability of red ball that can be drawn? So once you get the prior probabilities, apply it to your Bayesian theorem in order to find out probability of ball which is drawn as black. So find out and tell the answers. What could be the probability? What could be the probability? Okay, so total number of balls in urn 1 is 10, right? Out of which 6 are black and 4 are red. So what will be the probability of drawing a black ball with respect to the urn 1? It is 6 by 10 because there are 6 black balls out of 10, right? Similarly, the probability of red ball would be 4 by 10. Then what is the total number of balls in, this is urn 2. So in urn 2, the total number of balls is 4. So probability of black ball would be 2 by 4. Right. So we have found out the prior probabilities to be half with respect to urn 2. So next we will apply it to the Bayes theorem. So according to the Bayes theorem, probability of black ball would be similarly, what is the probability of black ball with respect to the urn 2? So your probability is half. Why it is half? Because there are only 2 balls. Out of 2 colored balls, what is the probability? Every time, because there is only 2 color, the probability of U1 and U2 will remain as half. So it is half into 6 by 10 plus half into 2 by 4, which is 11 by 20. So out of 20 chances, 11 times black ball are drawn. So next question is, if the black ball drawn is black, what is the probability that it is from the first turn? So how many of the total 11 balls or 11 times black ball is drawn from the urn? So what is the probability of the ball which is drawn from the first jar or the first turn? You have to calculate. So this can be calculated as the probability of U1 with respect to, see, this is your Bayes theorem, right? This is your Bayes theorem where you are saying what is the probability of black ball with respect to urn 1 divided by probability of urn 1 plus probability of urn 2. That is maximum likelihood of urn 1 plus maximum likelihood of urn 2 that is part of your denominator. In numerator, it is probability of U1 with respect to what is the probability of black ball drawn. So substitute the values. So you will get 6 by 11. So out of 11 chances of drawing a black ball, 6 times it is drawn from which jar? That is the first jar or urn 1. So now if a question is asked for urn 2, directly you can subtract 6 from 11. So 5 on 11 will be from your jar 2 or urn 2. So here you have applied the maximum likelihood. So maximum likelihood of drawing that particular instance is part of denominator, and whatever you want to calculate will be your numerator. Next we'll move to the next topic, Navy Bayes classifier. So Navy Bayes classifier is based upon your Bayes theorem. So if you have a data set having say D training set, that is it has say n number of tuples associated with this, and it is also a supervised learning technique because you have a class label associated with it. So here each tuple is represented as D attribute, or it is represented as vector X, where each of them is tuple, or one particular row from your database is termed as X1, X2, X3. So your X in uppercase is the collection of all the tuples, and for all these X entries you have a class label. So you can assume that you have M class labels from C1 to CM. So what are we trying to find in your Bayesian classification is, we will try to classify the maximum posterior probability, that is what is the possibility of the class label, because what we are doing, we are trying to derive the class label from your test set. So as I discussed earlier, we have training data set and test data set. So from the test data set, you will not be having any class associated with it, right? You will train the model with the data set which has class labels. Once the model is developed, what you will do, you will randomly take one tuple from your test data set and you will try to check to which class that particular test belongs to, or your test data set belongs to. So in order to identify the class label in your Bayesian classification or in your Bayesian classifier, we will be applying maximum posterior. So depending upon your posterior probability, we will find out to which class that particular instance belongs to. So according to your Bayes theorem, the posterior probability of a class label with respect to the instance X, this has to be read as posterior probability of class Ci with respect to the instance X is given by the probability of X with respect to the class label Ci into probability of Ci. This is called as maximum likelihood of that particular instance X divided by the probability, that is the total probability of X. So I'll repeat again, from the Bayes theorem, you can find out the maximum posterior probability of a particular class label as the posterior probability of class label Ci with respect to all the trained instance X as the maximum likelihood. This is your maximum likelihood. So X for the class label Ci is called as the maximum likelihood multiplied by its prior probability. P of Ci is your prior probability divided by total probability of instances in your training data set. So this is with respect to the Bayesian theorem. So usually your P of X would be 1 because you already know how many instances are there. So in order to find out the probability, we have to count how many instances are there. So this can be assumed as constant for all the classes, and we can assume this to be 1 because the highest probability achieved is 1. So your posterior probability of identifying a class with respect to the instance will be given as multiplication of your maximum likelihood into your prior probability of class. So how are you getting this prior probability of class? This is got from your trained model. Because you have already trained a particular model, your prior probability with respect to the class labels is got by that particular model which you have trained. And the maximum likelihood will tell you how many times that particular instance is repeated in your training set. So if you multiply this two, you will get the posterior probability of that particular instance. So again, if this is nearing to 0, it means that the class label is false or no. If the value that you have got is nearing to 1, it means that the class label is yes or true. I hope you are able to follow. Guys, you are able to follow? Should I repeat this one more time?
No, ma'am.
So you are trying to find. So again, I'll say this is your formula to apply for Bayesian classifier. According to this, you have a data set. So your data set will be having even the class labels. So first you will train the model with respect to that class model. Once you train with respect to the class model, you will get one value that is called as your prior probability of a class label, which is denoted as P of Ci, probability of class label. This is the prior probability, and this is your maximum likelihood. So how many times whatever you are trying to test repeats in your trained data set is what is your maximum likelihood. So if you multiply this two, you will get the posterior probability of that particular instance. Okay. So to make this concept clearer, we'll move to one of the examples. I have taken the same example of bicomputer. So you know it has 4 attribute: age, income, student, and credit rating. Based upon this 4 attribute, you have to decide whether a person can buy computer or not. So here again, this is your class label. So depending upon the class label, what you have to do first is you have to find out its probability. So how many yes are there, how many no are there, depending upon that, you will find the probability first. So once the model is trained, this is your sample data. If age is less than or equal to 30 and income is medium, and if he or she is a student and credit rating is fair, you have to test for the sample whether he or she will buy the computer or not. So these are the test instance given. So based upon this particular data set, you have to first find out a model where you have the class label. Once the model is trained, you will find out the probability of class label. This is the probability of class label, what I said. So you will count number of yes, number of no, and find its probability. That will be your PCI. In order to find the maximum likelihood of this 4 attributes, you will take only the columns, only the rows with age less than or equal to 30 first. How many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are there. Out of these 5 columns, you will extract only this 5 columns first for age less than or equal to 30. Similarly, you will find out how many of them has income is equal to medium. So here clearly you have only 2 rows with income is equal to medium, and student is equal to yes, you have only 1, and credit rating is fair. Do you have this particular tuple. So see, when you see like that, only this column, this row gets selected where age is less than or equal to 30, income is medium, student is S. But what about credit rating? Credit rating is given as fair, but in this case it is excellent. So only by checking this you cannot solve. So you have to find probability of each one of them and apply it to your Bayesian theorem in order to find the probability of this particular data sample. See, directly from this we are not able to get the result because your credit rating is excellent, whereas in the query tuple or your test data sample, credit rating is fair. So we will see the probabilities of each. See, how many tuples had by computer as yes? 9 on 14 were yes. So find out the probability. So the probability would be 0.643. Similarly, for by computer no, 5 on 14. So it is 0.357. So this will be the probability of CI, right? What we did, the last column is the class label. So depending upon the class labels, we have found out what is the probability of by computer as yes and by computer as no. You are able to follow till here? Excuse me. So what we did, see, by seeing only this last column, we checked how many class instances are yes and how many class instances are no. Depending upon the number of yes and no, we have calculated probability of CI. So out of 14 entries, 9 entries has your class label as yes. So it is 9 by 14 and 5 by 14. So this is the probability of your class label CI. So next we will find out the maximum likelihood. So whenever you are finding maximum likelihood, we are taking two tuples together. So if age is less than or equal to 30 and by computer is yes, you will go back and check age is less than or equal to 30 and with respect to what? With respect to by computers. Why it is by computer? Because that is your class label. So out of this 5 entries, you are finding how many of them are yes and how many of them are no. So 5 are there out of 5. See, the age less than or equal to 30 and by computer is yes is 2 by 9, which is 0.22. Age less than 30 by computer is no is 3 by 5, 0.6. Similarly, income, you will find out for income, student and credit rating. So income is medium and by computer is yes. Income is medium, by computer is no. Student is yes, by computer is yes. Student is yes and by computer is no. Similarly, credit rating is fair, by computer is yes. Credit rating is fair, by computer is no. So directly substitute this and find out the probabilities. So what are we doing here? We are finding out the maximum likelihood. So what is the maximum likelihood of age with respect to by computer is? Maximum likelihood of age with respect to by computer no. Similarly, maximum likelihood of income with respect to by computer is yes. Then likelihood of income with respect to no. Likelihood of student with respect to by computer yes. Likelihood of student with respect to by computer no. Similarly, you will also find out for credit rating. So once you have found out, this is our sample, right? This is the sample that is got from your test data set. So this doesn't has a class label. So now we are trying to predict what could be its class label. So for this X, you will find out your prior probability. So prior probability is got by P of X by Ci. But what we need to find? We need to find the posterior probability. That is P of Ci with respect to X will be your posterior probability. So in order to find the posterior probability, first I will find out the prior probability. That is P of X with respect to Ci. So let me assume that by computer is yes first. So X with respect to the class label, yes. So how many of them as age less than or equal to 30? 0.222. Similarly, income is equal to medium 0.444. Student is yes 0.667. And how many of the tuples have credit rating fair? 0.667. So the total probability is 0.044. So whenever for this particular test label, if I assume the by computer is yes, the probability I would get is 0.044. Similarly, find out the likelihood for by computer is equal to no. For age less than or equal to 30, income is equal to medium, student equal to yes, and credit rating is equal to 4. So once you have found out the probabilities, substitute. So it is 0.6 for age less than or equal to 30, by computer is equal to no, income medium is 0.4, student SS 0.2, credit rating is fair as 0.4. So you have got the value as 0.019, where the probability is no. But here, if I find out the probability of by computer, now X probability we have got, right? For the X probability, if I find out, okay, the by computer label is yes, what I'll do, I'll multiply this with, that is 0.044 with 0.643. What is this 0.643? For the actual data set with 14 tuples, I have found out 9 of 14 at probability yes, right? This was our first step. See, probability of CI was our first step. So if I assume the probability is yes, I will get the value as 0.028. Similarly, for this particular value, if I assume my probability of buying computer is no, I will get value as 0.007. So 0.007 is less than 0.028, right? Therefore, X belongs to class yes computer. That is, for this particular sample query, you can say the probability of buying computer is more when compared to probability of not buying the computer. So for this particular sample, you can assign this particular test sample as by computers is equal to yes, through applying it through your Bayesian theorem. So the posterior probability of your by computer is greater than the posterior probability of by computer is equal to no. So hence we can conclude that for this particular test data set or the tuple, the class label that is assigned would be by computer is equal to yes. So you are able to follow? Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay, you're able to follow? So yes, what we did, we applied, see, this was your sample data set. So in order to make you understand again, I'll just repeat it briefly. So this was your data set given. So in this particular data set, this is your class label, right? So with the class label, the first step is find out the probability of class label. How will you find out probability of class label? You will count number of yes. How many yes are there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 on 14 is yes and 5 on 14 is no. So find out the probability as 9 divided by 14 and 5 divided by 14. So your probability of class label is calculated in the first step. Once that is calculated, what you have to do is you have to find out the maximum likelihood. How will you find out the maximum likelihood? Take one attribute and one value. Why I have taken only less than or equal to 30 here? Because in the sample set, our interest is age less than or equal to 30. So there is no need for me to take these two values. That is between 31 to 40 greater than 40. There is no need to consider age less than or equal to 30, and I'll compare this with your class label. So what is the probability of age less than or equal to 30 with no, and age less than or equal to 30 with yes? So I will find out the probabilities of age with respect to by computer. So this is called as maximum likelihood of age. Similarly, I will find out maximum likelihood of income, maximum likelihood of student, and maximum likelihood of credit rating. Once I have individual probabilities of each one of this, what I can do is I can directly go and take the query or the test tuple. So this is your test tuple. So out of this test tuple, we will assume how many times the probability would be yes, how many times the probability would be no. So if I say P of XCI, how can I get this? I can get this by saying what is the probability of X with class label is equal to yes. So already in the previous slide, I have calculated probability for each one of this. So I'll directly substitute what is the maximum likelihood of age less than or equal to 30 with by computer is equal to yes. Answer is 0.222. Similarly, what is the maximum likelihood of income is equal to medium with respect to by computer is yes. So the answer is 0.444. Then the next step or next instance of the query is student is equal to yes. So its probability is 0.667. Credit rating fair is 0.667. So this I'll directly substitute. So what are this? Individually, all this are your prior probability. So why it is called as prior probability? Because you are calculating it from your training set. You know what is its class label. So because you know its class label, it is called as prior probability. So once you find out this is called as your prior probability of the instance, because all these are derived from your training set. So this is Px of Ci where class label is yes. Similarly, you will find out Px of Ci where class label is no. So what is the maximum likelihood of age, maximum likelihood of income, maximum likelihood of student, and maximum likelihood of credit rating when your class label was no? So you have individual probabilities which are nothing but likelihood, and totally you have found out the probability of X with respect to Ci when the class label were no. So this is your which probability? This is called as the prior probability when class label is yes, prior probability when class label is no. Now apply it to the Bayes theorem. So what I mean is apply this to this particular formula, that is probability of XCI into probability of Ci. In first step only we have found out the probability of class label, right, which is 9 by 14 and 5 by 14. Now we are able to find out the prior probability. So multiply your prior probabilities. So these are your prior probabilities. So multiply this prior probability with your class label instances. So prior probability of by computer yes with the decision yes or the class label yes would be 0.028. Similarly, the prior probability with respect to your by computer no gave the value 0.007. So since this is less than 0.0028, we will always take the value which is maximum. Why? Because we are trying to find out maximize posterior probability. So whichever is maximum. So in this case 0.028 is maximum when compared to 0.007. So from this I can conclude that for this particular test tuple, the class label assigned would be yes. Any doubts? Abhishek, you are able to follow? I think in the previous class for maximum likelihood, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, guys, any doubts regarding
No,
this?
ma'am.
So now, this is the another example, same example I have taken. Here, what they have given us, the probability is already given. See, take this is the weather data set where you have outlook, temperature, humidity, windy, and play. This is your class label. So, according to the class label, they have given 9 is yes and 5 is no. So, if you are able to write the entries with respect to this table, then it would be easy to apply your any of the classification if you deal the problem with tabular format. So here in the problem only he has given the probability. So the probability of sun is 2 by 9, overcast is 4 by 9, rainy is 3 by 9. Similarly, even for decision no for outlook is given. For temperature, again for yes and no, there are two labels. So the probabilities are given for values odd, mild, and cool. Similarly, humidity with respect to the class label yes and no, he has given the probability. The prior probability is already given with respect to the values it can take. So even the PCI, that is the class probability, is also given as 9 by 14, 5 by 14. So this is your test tuple. What is the label you will assign? Calculate this. So outlook is sunny, temperature is cool, humidity is high, windy is true. So from this probability table, what would be the probability of sunny? It is 2 by 9. Temperature is cool. So probability would be 3 by 9. So it is 2 by 9 into 3 by 9. Humidity is high into 3 by 9. And windy is true. Windy is true. That is 3 by 9. So like this, you can find out your prior probability. So what is the answer for prior probability? What is the answer? Calculate. So for sunny, it is 2 by 9. Why 2 by 9? Because in table it is given probability is 2 by 9. Temperature is cool. So 2 by 9 into 3 by 9. And humidity is high into 3 by 9. And wind is true, 3 by 9. So 2 by 9 into 3 by 9 into 3 by 9 into 3 by 9. So what will be the answer? Calculate and say me the answer. So for this particular tuple, what would be your prior probability? Prior probability is calculated by 2 by 9 into 3 by 9 into 3 by 9 into 3 by 9. Yeah, what is the answer? So 3, 9, 11. Yeah, 11 by 9. So 11 by 9 would be, say the answer in decimals. What is the answer for 11 by 9? So your 11 by 9 would be your
1.222.
yeah 1.22. That is your prior probability. Now that has to be multiplied with your decision yes. Assume for the first time decision is yes. So 1.22 or 11 by 12 multiplied by 9 by 14. Similarly, do it for 1.22 multiplied by 5 by 14. What are the answers? Yeah, for S it is 0.784.
8.
Correct. For no, what is the answer for no?
Ma'am, 0.43.
Correct. 0.43. So which one is maximum? Your 0.78 is maximum. So you can conclude that if outlook is sunny, temperature is cool, humidity is high, and wind is true, your play tennis would be yes. because the probability that you got after applying your Bayesian theorem is 0.784 for your label yes. So by this, what you can do, you can clearly say for this particular test data set, your decision will be yes. You're able to follow now. I think in this example, your doubts will be clear. You will find out the probability, individual probability first, then apply and find out the prior probability for the given tuple. Once you know the prior probability, you will first assume what would be the probability if the decision is yes. Similarly, you will multiply that with what will be the probability if the decision is no. Whichever value is closer to 1, that particular label will be your output. So here your decision would be yes. You're able to follow? Any doubts? So I hope whatever discussion we had on probability has helped to find out your prior probability and posterior probability. Don't get confused. Whatever you get from your training set is called as prior probability, and whatever you are finding is called as your posterior probability. So always your Bayesian classification helps to find out the posterior probability. That is, what is the probability of the test data set with respect to your model or your training set. Now let us take, the answer is given. This is for other set. Because you have understood, I am skipping that. Similarly, can you estimate probability for this data? Find out. So this is your class label. So we'll solve this example and stop our discussion here. So this is the last example. This is the data set given. For this particular test record, what would be the decision? So first what you will do, find out the probability of class label. How many of them are yes? 3 are yes. So 3 on 10, because there are 10 entries, 3 on 10 is probability of yes and 7 on 10 is probability of no. Next, we require only when refund is no. How many entries has refund no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries are there. Out of the 7 entries, find out no with no and no with yes. Guys, solve it. I need to figure out whether you are able to follow this. Because in classification for your external, you can never predict. You can get it on decision tree or your Navy base or your next topic, that is your what do you mean by your key means or your KNN, followed by the rule-based method. So there are so many methods. So one particular problem you should know how to solve clearly, because this topics can be purely theoretical based or a simple example can be given and you could be asked to solve it. So what is the probability of class label? So 7 by 10 for no and 3 by 10 for yes. So if I check for refund no, how many of them are yes?
6 are yes, ma'am. Refund no. 3 are yes.
4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 entries with refund no. How many of them are yes? 1, 2, 3. 3 are yes. So it is 3 by 7 and
4 by 7.
For refund. 3 by 7, 4 by 7. Similarly, for marital status, yeah. So for refund, it is 3 by 7, 4 by 7. Similarly, marital status is married. How many of them? Only 3 of them are there. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are there. Out of 4, how many of them are no? All are no.
All are no.
Yeah, all are no, and there is no yes. So there is no need to find out. Probability is
4
1.
by 7 and 0.
Yeah. So not 4 by 7. There are only 4 entries. 4 entries. For 4 entries, all the class label is no. Now don't consider refund. Consider only the marital status. In marital status, you have married status as only 4. Out of 4, everything is no. So the probability would be 1. So there is no need to find out probability for marital status because all the entries that you have selected belongs to same class. So as I said already, if they belong to the same class, the probability would be 1. Similarly, income is given as 120K. So on 120,
Only one, ma'am.
only one entry. And here also probability is 1. So married probability is 1. Income probability with 120, you have only one row. So here also probability is 1. And the decision label is no. With respect to no, it is 1. With respect to yes, it is 0. Even here, with respect to yes, it is 0. So now what I'll do, I will find out the prior probability with class label yes. So prior probability for refund value no with class label yes. How many of them were yes? Out of 7, 4 of them. Sorry, 3 of them were yes. So it is 3 by 7 into 0 into 0, right? Because marital status yes 0. Similarly, 120K yes is 0. So the total probability would be 0.
0.
From this example, clearly we know whenever we calculated for yes, the prior probability turned out to be 0. So here only we can stop and say for this particular test record where refund is no and marital status is married, income is 120K, evade is no.
Ma'am, one doubt is there.
What is the doubt?
The refund is no, so it should be 4 by 10, no.
It's class label, no, and complete class.
Refund is no, so it would be, see, refund, how many entries are no? There are 7 entries.
7 entries, yes, ma'am.
Right. Yeah, there are 7 entries. Out of this, how many of them are yes? 1, 2, see here, 3. So it would be 3 by 7.
Okay, ma'am.
3 by 7. For no, it is 4 by 7. Because here for yes, it is 0. Because all probability for married is no. And even for 120K, it is no. Probability of S is 0. Probability of S is 0. So if you want to find out it for say class level yes, you will get only 3 by 7 into 0 into 0. So the total probability of this particular test record belonging to the class level S is 0. So you can stop here and you can say for this particular test record, the decision or the class level is no. So I have taken 3 types of example. Here you are using the probability, that is all the probability has come to no. Clearly you can derive from this example, whereas from the previous example here they have only given the prior probabilities. Only you will multiply the test or a new day and you will check whether it belongs to your yes label or no label, and this is the detailed example for your training set. So we have dealt with 3 examples. So any doubts? If you don't have any doubts, what's the time?
Do we have decision tree for this also, ma'am?
Any doubts? So this ends your Navy-based classifier. Along with this, see here what happened here, we got probability as 0, right? So as far as possible, we have to avoid 0 probability problem. What do you mean by 0 probability problem? So whenever we are finding probability, if one of the class label becomes 0, then you will do a Laplacian correction. So how you will do? For example, in our case, so your S label became 0, right? So what you will do is you will add one more entry for married is equal to yes. You will add by yourself. In order to avoid the 0 probability, what you can do is you can check one more entry here by saying married is equal to yes. Similarly, you can add one more entry here with 120k is equal to yes. So this is known as Laplacian correction. So what you will do, you will add 1 to each class in order to check whether the probability got us correct. Suppose one example is given here. The data set are 1000 tuples. Income low is equal to 0, income medium is equal to 990, and income high is equal to 10. So 990 plus 10, 1000. 1000 tuples are already done, but we don't have any entry with income low. Income is equal to low. So what we can do, we can use the Laplacian correction, and I can add one entry for each of the tuple. So one entry for low, one entry for medium, one entry for high. So see here, so what will be your total tuples now? I've added 3 more tuples. One with income low, one with income medium, one with income high. So it will become 1 by 1003, 991 by 1003, 11 by 1003. So this will help you to avoid 0 probability problem. So you can, this is one of the pre-processing that you will do. So if you find out it will reach the 0 probability, you can avoid 0 probability by applying Laplacian correction to it. This helps you to find out the correct estimate of probabilities. Rather than because actually you cannot say the probability of a particular label is 0. That is meaningless, because here we are not taking the whole data set, we are taking only part of data set with only 14 rows, 11 rows, but actually in reality you may consist of n number of rows. So in order to avoid based upon your sample selection, that is, you have seen, right, how to derive sample in your data processing and all, sample with replacement, without replacement. Depending upon whatever sample you have drawn from your actual population, you can find out its probability. If in case you get 0 probability, that problem can be avoided by using Laplacian correction. In Laplacian correction, what you will do is you will add one more tuple for each of the classes to avoid 0 probability problem. So what is the advantage? The advantage of naive Bayes, it is easy to implement. It gives good result when compared to other classification technique, because you will take the Prior probability and probability of class. So that is the advantage. So naive Bayes classification can be applied for many applications. Like it can be used for text processing, or if you want to do any recommender system, it will check the accuracy of the recommender system. So what is the disadvantage? It is dependent on your conditional probability or conditional independence. So there can be a chance of getting less accuracy. And here what we are finding out, we are trying to find out the dependency between the variables. So there are basically 2 types of variables, dependent variable and independent variable. Your naive Bayes classifier cannot be applied for independent variables. It can be applied only for dependent variables in order to find out its cause and effect. Dependency can be easily modeled. If there is no dependency between the attributes, then you cannot apply your Bayesian classifier. So some kind of dependency should exist between the attributes. This is about your maybe Bayes classifier or Bayesian classifier. I'll end here. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can go ahead and ask. If no doubts,